Very good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the new topic, new chapter, that is excretory solids and their elimination. Okay, so this is a very important topic in our NEET syllabus and worthy of asking the two questions from this one. Okay, so we will see that when we complete the topic then we will come to know that where is the point of asking the questions. I will tell you in detail. Now today we will talk the introduction part of this topic. Why we want to study this topic and what are the significance of this excretion and all. Okay. So the first important point is that to keeping the body, whatever the body inside internal environment constantly. Okay. That condition we are calling it as one term, calling it as homeostasis. We can use the term calling it as homeostasis. Say what exactly this homeostasis in the sense to maintain that whatever the body fluids are there, so they are maintaining constantly. Is it clear? That is the one important point to remember. Say what exactly this homeostasis is necessary for all the life processes. Mean to say that here in this homeostasis there are the two major important things are present. Okay, so for maintenance of this homeostasis there are the two major important things are present. One is calling it as osmoregulation. And the next one is calling it as excretion. These are the two major important points are present. What we can say, one is calling it as osmoregulation and other one is calling it as excretion. Is it clear? This is the one important point to remember. So what exactly the term says osmoregulation? Osmoregulation means here to regulate that body. In what way it has to regulate means in terms of the concentration of the salts and we can say is the water. Okay, this is the very important point for this to maintain the process. Okay, so this one we can call it as a simple term is the osmoregulation. Now what exactly the term says excretion? Excretion in the sense the nitrogenous based substances. How these nitrogen based substances are coming outside of the body means due to that many metabolic activities, many metabolic processes has been happening in the body. So resultant in terms of the waste material will be in the form of nitrogenous based materials. Okay, this has to be eliminated from the body. Okay, so these nitrogenous based substances should be eliminated from the body. These nitrogenous substances can be in the form of three different categories. We have so many factors are there. Here we can have this major important one is ammonia is present. Next one is urea is present. Next one is the uric acid is present. So these are the three major important nitrogenous based substances they have to eliminate from the body. You can ask me the question, madam, what is going to happen if it all there means? Yes, the body get toxic. Is it clear? So every part of the cell tissues get damaged and ultimately leads to the death of the individual. So nothing should be there of these toxic substances. See, when you are cleaning our house, we are not keeping the dust inside. Is it clear? We are throwing that one. Same manner, after utilizing of these metabolic processes, the useful things will be remain in our body and harmful things has to eliminate from the body. This is the very important point to remember. Okay. So now I said that these nitrogenous based materials can be eliminated in terms of the 2-3 manners. First we will talk about the ammonia. Okay. So by this ammonia, when we comparatively see it is the more toxic. Okay. And comparatively this urea somehow it's little toxic and which one we can say uric acid is less toxic. Okay, but most of these cases highly toxic means we can see the ammonia. So to eliminate this ammonia from the body, definitely it requires large quantity of the water. So that is the case. This can be seen only in the case of the aquatic organisms. Mean to say that aquatic organisms means what? The organisms which are present in water. Those are calling it as aquatic organisms. Okay, so this ammonia can be seen in most of the aquatic organisms. In some cases, dual nature of the excretion can happen. They will see that in which condition it can happen. They will see that. Okay. Next one, in this terrestrial organisms including humans, this one is birds and reptiles. We will see that in detail each and every one. Okay. Now we see that ammonia. Ammonia is the major important of the toxic substance. Okay. So the organisms which they will eliminate this ammonia. We can use that ammonogenic organisms. And this excretion of this ammonia, we can use the term calling it as ammonotelism. Okay, ammonotelism is, what is that meaning? Yes, excretion of ammonia. Okay, so here the examples we have. We have so many examples. Okay, so what are the examples means? Yes, we have the list of the examples. We can see amoeba, paramecium, sponges, hydra, liver fluke, okay, tapeworm, ascaris, nereis, earthworm, leech, prawn, phyla, bony fishes, salamanders, tadpoles of rock, and crocodiles. See, all this list of the organisms we have seen, all these organisms which we can see their mode of life is aquatic, that present in water. Okay, this is the one important thing to remember. I repeat once again till now what we discussed in the sense. Today's topic is excretory products and their elimination. What exactly the excretory products we will get, how they should have to eliminate from the body. That is the one important point to remember. Now here we learned a major important definition. Homeostasis. What exactly this homeostasis is? Keeping the body, to maintain the body in a constant, whatever the inside of the body fluids are present, we have to maintain constantly. So that constantly maintenance of this body fluids, we can use the term calling it as homeostasis. How it is possible of this homeostasis? Mean to say that we have the two terms are present. Osmoregulation is present. And the next term is calling it as excretion is present. So osmoregulation means to say that here maintenance or we can say the regulation of this salts concentration and the water balance. Is it clear? This is the crucial, very important point to remember. Coming to this excretion. Excretion means what? Here we have to eliminate the nitrogenous waste substances from the body. What are the nitrogenous waste substances means? Yes, we have this ammonia, urea and uric acid. Okay, and one important thing we learned that the organisms which eliminate the ammonia, those are calling it as ammonotelic. Is it clear? Ammonotelic. Don't get confused with that one. Okay, excretion of this ammonia is called, we use that term, say certain animals will excrete this ammonia, which term we can use? So that is calling it as ammonotelism. Okay, this is the one term we learned till now, what exactly the excretion of this ammonia. Now we will talk about the, see, in the previous we learned that we clearly talked about the ammonia and examples we learned. Now we will talk about this urea. Okay, the excretion of urea is known as ureotelism. Okay, next the organisms which excrete urea are called ureotelic. Okay. Okay, so here the nitrogenous base substance in the terms of what we can say is the urea. And the animals which are excreting this urea, see here we have so many examples are present. One is calling it as ascaris, next one is calling it as earthworm, next one is calling it as cartilaginous fishes. In that includes sharks and ray fishes, frogs, toads, turtles, alligators, mammals, including human beings. Okay, so the nitrogenous base substance in terms of urea. Okay, so we use the term calling it as excretion of this urea is known as ureotelism. And organisms we can see the term we are using ureotely. So they will give that ureotely can be seen in which of the following organisms. If they give the set of the options like this, if they you can see that ascaris is present, yes, this can be marked that one. Okay, this is the one important thing to remember. Mean to say that comparatively it is also toxic in nature. When comparatively ammonia, this is little toxic in nature. Is it clear? So highly toxic in nature means, yes, we learned in the previous time that is the ammonia. Less toxic means, yes, we can say is the urea. Okay, and followed by here we can say that is the uric acid is a little toxic in nature. See, we learnt about the ammonia and urea. Now we will talk about this very important, little less toxic when compared to ammonia and urea. That is calling it as uric acid. So excretion of this uric acid is known as ureotelism. And animals which excrete this uric acid are called uricotelic. Remember that one. So here the animals which one will excrete this uric acid, mean to say that here the most of the insects, means we can include cockroach. Is it clear? Okay. So most of the land crustaceans, these are belongs to the arthropoda. When we discussed in the case of this that what we can say animal kingdom. This is the largest phylum in arthropoda. We can see this class, this crustaceans, most of the crustaceans will show this type of the uricotelic, means what we can say liberation or elimination of this uric acid. So hence we can say the process we can say uricotelism. And the animals we can use the term calling it as uricotelic. Okay. And the next one here, the example we can give for this one is Oniscus woodlouse. This is a peculiar example we can give. Okay. This is the one important thing to remember. And the next one is calling it as land snail. That here the example we can give helix. And the land reptiles including lizards and snakes, we have the birds. And have you noticed that one? I have used the term in urea, ammonia, certain animals together. Okay, just think once why I have written that, what could be the reason of that, just think. See, I asked just now, I mentioned certain animals in both the cases. Yes or no? Will you agree with? Yes, 100%. So that type of the nature we can use that one dual nature. Okay, dual excretion. Is it clear? So here the animals, certain animals, not all animals, only few animals can have the capacity to eliminate in terms of the ammonia and in terms of the urea. That is their specialization. Is it clear? So, but not at a time. Due certain conditions only they will eliminate. Is it clear? So what are the conditions and all? Let us see that one. Okay. So earthworm, if at all you see that this one is excrete ammonia. Okay. When sufficient, this one is we can see the ammonia as well as the dormancy period. You can see the urea elimination. Lungfishes, first this African toad, here it is excreting ammonia and urea. Means during summer, what we can say, dormancy period. Mean to say that they will take some rest, okay, to escape from the high temperature and all. So that time they will excrete in terms of the urea. Okay. And the next one, here tadpoles of frog. Okay, embryonic condition stage. In that case, we can see that ammonia can be eliminated, and why? Because it is present in water. And urea, when it is fully developed, undergone the metamorphosis, means fully developed. That is the one important thing. And here crocodiles. You can see these crocodiles here. Let me write here. Crocodiles. See, these crocodiles can excrete ammonia as well as the urea. Okay, when it is present in water, they will excrete, and if at all they coming on the land, means they excrete the urea. Okay, and certain aquatic turtles are present, so those will excrete both urea and the ammonia. Means they have a tendency to excrete both. What is that? In terms of what we can say, urea and the ammonia. Here the aquatic turtles, which one exhibit or shows the both ammonia and urea, means our answer should be here, urea and ammonia by the aquatic turtles. Okay. And crocodiles, when they are present in the land, you can see the present on the land means here urea. When it is present in water means yes, ammonia. In earthworm also, here we can see ammonia, here urea. Lungfishes, this ammonia, urea. During dormancy period is urea. So tadpoles of this frog, here it is ammonia, and we can see that urea when it is undergone completely one. Mean to say that metamorphosis. Okay, so this is the very important one. Individually they will say that, so dual nature of the excretion can happen in which of the following organisms. In most of the cases of this will be asking the question. So if you are writing for the board exam also, this is very important. Name the list of the exhibiting dual nature of excretion, means you have to define the definition and you can write the example. So in that way you can write it. You can ask for many questions like 2 mark question, 3 mark question, 5 mark question, essay question also they will ask. Okay. See, the next very important one, amino acid. See, not ammonia, listen carefully, amino acid. Mode of excretion is known as aminoterism. Aminoterism. Here, this one can be seen in Unio, okay, Limnae, this belongs to molluscans. Asterius is a starfish, echinoderms, and guanine, mean to say that here is a mode of excretion is called guanoterism. Guanoterism. Okay, so here this guanine is the excretory product can be seen in which of the organisms, means yes, here we can see in the spiders. Next one, trimethylamine oxide. Trimethylamine oxide. This can be seen in certain marine teleost, okay, teleost fishes, molluscans and crustaceans. Okay, this is the one important thing. And next one is allantoin. Allantoin. Here, when the baby is in embryonic condition, is not fully developed, when it is present in the mother's womb, that time also this nitrogenous based substances have to be eliminated from the body. Okay, so how it will be taking place is here through this matter. Okay, so here this is the allantoin, the excretory product of these embryos. So in which cases of this one can be seen? Mean to say that here amniotes, means some tender delicate layer will be there which making to attach to the embryo. Okay, so this one can be seen in reptiles, birds and mammals. So those who are calling it as amnions. Those who are calling it as amnions. Here it is very important one. Allantoin can be seen in which case means here the embryonic stage of in the case of reptiles, birds and mammals. Okay. So guanine can be seen in the case of what we can say, this can be seen in the spiders. Okay. See, now we can conclude this one by talking the bile salts which contain bile pigments we learnt, bile salts we are learning. Sodium and potassium salts of these bile acids which are like the conjugated, means they have the combinations, okay, with whom means with the glycine and taurine. Okay. So what exactly is happening means they are absorbed from the intestine and are transported by the hepatic portal vein with the help of this one enteronephric circulation. So this is the one important thing to remember. Enteronephric circulation. Is it clear? So that is the one important point to remember. And the drugs. So when we take that certain type of the antibiotics and all, whatever they require for the curing of this disease, that will be utilized and the remaining excess will be there. So that has to be eliminated. See which type of the drugs can be missed. Sulfonamide, penicillin, ampicillin and erythromycin. These are the drugs. And the next one, certain hormones also there. Is it clear? So liver is the best one for the detoxification. Okay. So we can have the steroid hormones are present, which are calling it as estrogen, cortisol, aldosterone. And we know that the simple one in terms of the carbon dioxide exchange of the gases we learned in the earlier topic breathing. So here we are inhaling the oxygen and after utilizing the tissues will eliminate in terms of the carbon dioxide. Okay. And some of the vitamins, which are vitamins means water soluble vitamins, will be eliminated after utilizing. Those are calling it as B complex and the vitamin C. And certain spices, we are taking the spices, we need to say that onion, garlic and some other spices. Okay. So they have that some volatile components are present. They are ready to eliminate through the lungs. Okay, they can evaporate through the lungs and which not able to done by the lungs, they will be eliminating with the help of the kidney. So they can be eliminated with the help of the kidney. That is the one important point to remember. So till now we learned in different organisms, different mode of what we can say the excretion and excretory products in terms of the nitrogen, urea, that is what we can say nitrogenous based products in terms of the ammonia, urea, uric acid. Okay. So what exactly we can conclude with the introduction part of this topic in the sense, here the main important thing is to maintain the constant body fluids, that is homeostatic condition has to be maintained. So that homeostatic condition, how it is possible to maintain in the sense, this can be possible by the two major important things. Those are calling it as this one is osmoregulation and the next one is the excretion. With the help of these two things, this homeostasis can be done. Okay. So we learned that osmoregulation means is the balancing of the water and the salt concentration, and excretion means we came to know that the nitrogenous based products, how these nitrogenous based products are coming in the sense by the metabolic activities. Okay, whatever we are taking the food in terms with that metabolic activities, by utilizing certain things which will be useful and which is not useful to our body will be eliminated. So hope it is understood. If you have any doubts, you can put it in this comment or something like that. Okay, thank you so much. In next session, we'll go in detail of that in organisms, in different organisms, how these excretory organs means are present, means in lower organisms, what are the excretory organs are present in higher organisms, what are the excretory organs in different categories from the lower to the higher organisms including human beings, how this development has happened. So in terms of we can learn that the excretory organs. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day.